All right, welcome to the show, Dwan.
What's going on, Chant?
And so let the people know a little bit about who you are and what you do. Start off with.
Yeah. First of all, my name is Dewan Matthews. I go by the name of the Elite Entrepreneur on Instagram. I kind of my profession is cleaning. I kind of master the labor industry. I also got a little bit of background in real estate, and I have another background in just doing a little mentorship stuff like that and talking. Trying to educate other young black men that come from the background of incarceration and try to get them into the just to start their own business and do their own thing.
Right, and that's kind of how I discovered you. Like one of my cousins, he sent me your profile because he like a lot of my cousins have been to jail and whatnot. And the
Okay.
hardest thing is getting out and trying to turn it like you're an entrepreneur and you're a successful entrepreneur. So
Right,
that's one of the things that piqued my interest. So like going to the background, how was your life growing up as a youngster, like kid?
I mean, I hate saying it that way, but the typical, black, man story growing up. I was raised in North Philadelphia. I was raised by a single mama, four. Never knew my dad. You know, um, that was rough growing up, but it's kind of like that's the story. It's the same story for everybody. I believe, it's not about where you coming from, it's about where you're going. So, just try to make the best out of each situation. But I like I said, I grew up like everybody else. I ended up, falling into the love of sports, start playing a little bit of sports, and that kind of took me to places to where North Philadelphia couldn't. I moved out to the suburbs, got a scholarship for basketball. I went to like a little private school out in Pottstown. Played a little bit out there. Was player of the year in 2011. Ended up going to college, and then from there it was kind of everything started spiraling downhill.
Wow. Okay. So, like, all right, growing up though, because now it seems like you're a real entrepreneur, you're a serial entrepreneur, a successful one. How did your mom, like, was she an entrepreneur or did she have a regular job?
No, my mom worked 9 to 5 right
Okay.
now. I mean, she worked. Yeah, she worked back in the day 9 to 5. Yep.
Okay. So that's why I was trying to figure out. Like, a lot of times people see it growing up, so that helped them, be able to become a successful business owner or entrepreneur. So
Right.
you just basically, all right, you when you say you start going downhill, all right, what happened then after college or playing ball?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of went out. So I don't know where you guys are. Where you guys located out of?
I'm in Florida.
All right, so Florida. Yeah. So like Pennsylvania, more of a I hate to say it's like it's a lot of like racist stuff that usually happen up this way. And
Right.
like I said again, it happens everywhere. I ended up going to one of the most racist schools in Pennsylvania. So I
Oh
went out
man.
to Millersville University, and when you talk about like Klan, that's a Klan field. So basically, like the Klan is like they walk in the streets. It's Confederate. It's a Confederate little neighborhood. Long story short, I went to college on a scholarship, got into a fight with some baseball kids, and I kind of that was my first time being arrested. I
Right.
was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. There was guns and stuff involved, and kind of after that, I came home from college, ended up enrolling back into another school called Cheney University, and I ended up going to jail from there. Same similar situation. Now Cheney is a HBCU, but it's kind of going back down towards Philadelphia,
Right.
and just being raised from that rough background, getting into those fights and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff turned into like gun violence. So I ended up getting in trouble there with just guns and stuff like that. Went to jail from there. Did about 4 or 5 months. Did about 4 months. Came home. I was on probation from Millersville, and my first time getting a DUI, literally my first DUI. So if you look at the statute of DUI, your first one is literally just a weekend in jail.
Right.
My first one, since my judge was from that Klan Nation up there in Millersville, they set me down for another 4 months.
Wow.
Right.
Man.
So I literally was like my first DUI ever,
Yeah.
first one ever, literally was set down for another 4 months, and that was just three, bids consecutive. Just keep going back, keep going back, keep going back. And then, the last time, I just like decided, I'm gonna get this thing right. Came home, um, ended up, graduating college with with an associate's degree. And then, even though I, had a college degree, I still couldn't get a job because of my background.
Right. So that's like the biggest kicker right there. It seemed like, you got out of jail and you trying to do the right thing. And like a lot of people, they got a felony on their record, right? So
Right.
what's your biggest advice to, like, say somebody get out, they got a felony on their record, but they want to do the right thing, but they're having a hard time getting a job? What's like some good advice you can give a person in that situation?
I want to backtrack it just so, because I know if you share this out to people, people understand it and they'll see it.
Right.
Like, it's the difference between, because I get a lot of people, reach out. So, well, I got a felon and nobody gonna hire me. I got a felon, nobody gonna do it, give me a chance. It was at one point when I was working at McDonald's in my old neighborhood, so when you're talking about trying, how hard are you trying? I had a system to where I was filling out 10 applications. So again, when you kind of talk about trying, always, kind of implement, with all those things in place, I kind of, tell a person, don't give me that little sob story. Right. So I tend to ask that, I ask a person all the time. I'm like, how hard are you trying? I was at the phase of where, I was doing, 10 job applications a day. I was working at McDonald's, I did all those things. So, I always say, don't give me the sob story. Well, bro, I'm trying and it's just not working out. It's kind of like you kind of got to go at this thing strategically. You know what I'm saying? And when you got goals and you're aligning your goals, make sure that you're aligning them things strategically. Make sure that you actually writing your goals down and tracking your process on that time too. Because, we felons and, it's maybe hard for us, but it's hard for everybody out here, right? I kind of got the mindset and the model that I didn't feel sorry for myself in that place, in that space.
Right. Okay. So go ahead.
So my advice is, just, you kind of made that bed, you kind of got to lay in it. But now, in today's world, there's so many different outlets and ways you can make money, get out here and be creative,
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they use that as I guess a lot of people, but they use that as a cop out. Man, I got a family, right. I can't do this but honestly, I'm a real estate investor, man. And lately, like this last maybe 6-7 months, a lot of people that doing work for me have been to jail, been to prison. And they are really sometimes the best workers because I don't know, maybe they're motivated because they've been sitting down for a while. So they're anxious to make money. But it just seems like people like are more determined and they know they can't get a job. So they come to work, they paint the house or do what they got to do,
Right. I go by a quote. Everybody got the same 24 hours, man. It's how you use it. It's up to you. You know what I mean? So, I always tell felons that, man. People who come home, like, man, don't complain. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Put a goal for yourself. Track that goal for yourself, and keep going at it.
Right. Okay. All right. So, what's the first business you started that was successful? Once you got on the right track.
Oh, cleaning.
Okay, so the cleaning is the main. That's the main business, right?
Yeah, cleaning, man. That's my baby. That's my baby, man.
All right. So the cleaning business is like where I'm at in Florida. It's one other. It's a bunch of cleaning companies, but I know another guy who clean like county buildings and stuff like that, and he's pretty successful at it. So, like, take us through the step of how you got your cleaning business going. Like, thinking of the reason you started it too. What's the upside?
Oh, so like I said, I was working at McDonald's. That was the last phase of it. But I kind of was looking for a business that was low to start, that didn't cost too much to start. And I knew for a fact that I could afford the equipment. I started out with $500, and then like I said, I was looking for a business that had like low overhead. I knew I could clean. Everybody know how to clean. If you come from a Black family home, you know how to clean. You know how to take the trash out. You know how to wash some dishes. You know how to go from there, right? So I literally just went to the dollar store, got all my equipment, got some flyers and stuff. I had a college degree, so I know a little bit about marketing and how the business works and stuff like that. So I literally just scaled it up, got my LLC, and just start going door to door. Now I'm telling you, everything I do is strategically planned with goals. Like I will literally clock out to where I'm doing 25 doors a day. So I won't go in the house until I'm knocking until I literally get my flyer in like in front of 25 doors, right? And then as you know, as I started, to get clientele and as I started to grow it, them flyers begin to turn into yard signs. I wouldn't go in the house until I make sure I got 5 or 6 yard signs out a day. You get what I'm saying? So everything was strategically planned. Like I didn't just go into it and just say, no, I'm gonna do cleaning. Let me just throw this around. Let me just throw this around. No, I strategically planned each and every step, and the results is in it.
Yeah, it sounds like you using a numbers game. Like numbers don't lie, because like even the people who do the mailers, the like buy houses, you have to send thousands of them just to get one house. And
Right.
I don't think people notice like 25 houses a day. That's a lot. Over a week, you in touch 100 customers.
Yeah.
Potential customers,
Yeah. And then you gotta figure, even if you get 2 or 3 of them, you make a little $1,000 right there. You feel me? In that week, that was my goal to at least hit, $1,000 or $2,000. That right there, that was $4,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? I'll spend $2,000 back out on marketing, pocket the other 2 in my pocket. It's just how you do it, strategically planning it.
Right. So you saying beginning, starting out, you would definitely the main, like if a person got $500, they're trying to start a business, they should spend what percentage of their money on marketing? Because it sounds like that's the most important part.
Oh, I want all in. All in.
Okay.
Like I said, I think I spent $75 at the dollar store for my Lysol, my rags, and after that, everything was all marketing.
Dang, that's crazy. Because I look at like how you scrolling on Facebook, and lately the dude, the Ball son, Lonzo Ball, no, LaMelo Ball, right? I always see his ad on there, and I'm like, I wonder if his dad paying for these ads to show like he's rookie of the year. You know what I mean? Because I keep seeing it now. I'm thinking he rookie of the year. I don't even think he rookie of the year yet.
Yeah, but it's like it's as much as you can put in people face, and as much as people can see it. Like you said, now you starting to believe it. Like, yeah, he rookie of the year, just because you keep seeing it, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's how it is. That's how the reality of it is. It's all a numbers game, man. It's just strategically, how are you planning it and how are you mapping it out?
Okay. So, all right, this is like a different question from business, but like growing up and even now, what do you think your natural God-given gift is? Like what you like, you don't even have to practice at this, but you naturally good at this and everybody know you've been good at this.
Oh, I think it's 2 things. I think it's more of making people believe in themselves, and then you ever heard of a green thumb? You heard of that?
Green thumb sound kind of
It's
like
a
an old
green.
school song. I don't know.
It's an old school saying, right? It's like
Right.
you kind of like a magnet to money. Like money
Right.
just always coming to you. Like you
Yeah.
always saying something. And man, I tell you, like this year, man, like I'll open my mouth and it'll be a conversation with a janitor at a CHOP hospital, and this is crazy. Like my daughter goes to CHOP hospital to get checked up. Man, I open my mouth and just talk to the dude. Next thing you know, I got the damn contract, and that contract is worth over 150,000 a year, right? So you kind of, I'm like, I don't know if it's a gift, or I'm like, I don't know if God just giving me the fruits of my labor for me just putting in the work behind it and just keep on having faith in it. But it's kind of like, having that green thumb and just always, I'm always trying to figure out a way to make some money, man. And it be coming.
Right.
It be coming. It's kind of like you manifest it, man. I write down every single day, like I said, strategically, I will be a billionaire by 30. I will be a billionaire by 30. And I'll do that in the notebook before I wake up. I mean, when I wake up and then before I go to sleep. So, just strategically planning. But I think the God gift talent is, just making people believe and understanding that, no matter what circumstance you're coming from, you can kind of overcome it if you strategically plan it out right.
Yeah, no, that writing that down, like I think people take that for granted, like because even me, I used to always try to remember everything I got to do every day, but now it's getting to the point where I have to literally write everything down because not only I got to remember it, but also it's a hard task you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
Damn. So how do you deal? Like, all right, this kind of weird too. The Black people discount. So you got your own business, and are you doing just like commercial or residential cleaning too?
No, I only do commercial.
Commercial. Okay, so
Yeah.
do you get like that? All right, man, hook me up with this discount, or that stage is you pass that stage? How do you deal with as far as Black people wanting that discount for Black people?
Man, look, I keep it all 100 with you, bro. If it ain't no grandma, no old lady, I ain't got it. I ain't giving you no discount. Like I'm in business, how you in business? I'm in business to make money. And that's why I think, that plays a lot of part in, black businesses in today's, society. In order for us to, to start respect ourselves as business owners, we got to start to act as a business owner. It's okay to say no to your cousin for coming in and you think he about to get, you're selling coffee and your cousin coming, he think he about to get a free coffee every other day. No, it's not. That's not how it works. If that's your cousin, he sees your business growing, he should want to pay. Every time I see a black business, I'm always trying to give top dollar to it. So I think that, even, us as business owners, like you say, you're a real estate investor and you got, probably some, some black clients you deal with, you probably hear all the time too. As long as I'm always treating my business like, it's a 7-figure business, even when it wasn't that. So I don't really deal with the whole black. No, if you ain't no grandma or, I'm not doing giveaways or, I'm not doing things to the community, to help it. I ain't got no discounts.
Man, I think what you just said, that was kind of awesome because people, the part like we don't do is we don't treat our business like a 7-figure business. So like even me recently, the real estate, I've been buying houses for the last 2 years, but I still didn't treat it like Walmart treat their business. I'm not, putting everything in this bank account. I'm not, writing down all the inventory. I'm just kind of like winging it, and instead of treating it like, all right, we're a real legit company, and I think that's where we get messed up,
right?
And not focusing on that, As
right.
in you kind of got to,
like I said, it's the same thing, a lot. And I hate saying it, like black people don't know because they do know. When it comes to the drug game and it comes to, people sitting on that corner, it ain't no discounts. So what makes you think that since I'm doing something illegal, I'm doing something legal, I'm going to give you a discount? Like, no, it definitely don't work that way. You know what I mean? So I think black people really got to, get back into that phase of, treating this thing like a street mentality. Like if you're not going, I know for a fact that you ain't gonna get nothing out for free on the street. So why would you get something out for free if you're doing something, if you're doing something in the greater good?
Right. I know this gonna hit home with maybe a couple people, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask this question. All right, if you're a successful street, say you in the street and you're successful, right? Whatever you're doing, how can that person because my whole thing is I tell people all the time who I know in the street and they're successful, I'm like, man, it's the same way on the legal side, it's just not illegal, So like say you're doing some illegal drugs, I say we start selling a restaurant or food, I think the same impact you got in the illegal side, you can match it on the legal side, but I'm trying to figure out how to get that person from that illegal side to focus on the legal side. How would you help somebody do that?
I mean, we did a little a campaign and we got something coming up called the Corner Entrepreneur, right?
Right.
And when it comes down to it, it's not them. They understand it's the same game. It's not that they don't understand it's the same as that game. It's the reality of it's a pride factor behind it, and it's also it's more of a lazy factor behind it, right? I always say this way. I say if you could sell weed, you could sell you could sell products. Like you could sell products. Like you can sell material, you can sell clothes. It's the same exact product. You get the clothes, you package it, and you sell it.
Right.
Right. The reality of it is they'll go, well, I don't know where to go get the stuff from, right? But if you new in town, right, and you flying into LA, the first thing you're gonna do to get some weed, what you gonna do? You either gonna go on Facebook and say who got some weed, or you're gonna go on social media, right?
Right.
My biggest tool was Google. I always tell them, anything you want to do, go out there and Google it. It's not rocket science. Like half of the stuff that we're learning today is not rocket science. And I believe that the white man, try to make it seem as if it's rocket science, but it's not. So when as you teaching that black man to transfer, his hustle over to the legal side to basically make some more money. My biggest thing that I always tell him, you got $100,000, I got $100,000. My reality is I could take my $100,000 to the car dealership and go buy any car and not have to worry about a cop or the IRS looking for me. You can't do nothing with that money. So that street money that you constantly working with ain't worth anything at the end of the day, right? It's only worth good in the streets, right? And then the next thing is you start to ask them, materialistic stuff. But then, on this side, okay, you got your little Rolex, right? But do your Rolex got insurance? Because if you get robbed today, that Rolex is gone because you got it the street way. But if I get robbed today, I got insurance on my Rolex.
Right.
right? You kind of start explaining to them and getting deep down into the root of it. It's like, yeah, you can sit out there all day and keep running from cops if you want. But I'm gonna sit in this car and get behind this laptop and make the same exact money you make, and I ain't gonna have to worry about nobody. Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I think it comes from more in, the people that they looking up to, understanding that the rap life, the hip hop life isn't realistic, understanding that people are dying at a high rate. And if you want to be the next person dead or in a box, do your thing. But in reality, that's not gangster no more. Gangster is getting your mom out the hood right now. Gangster is going across the street and you seeing that bando and buying it for yourself because he's the property market, the house buy houses, right?
Right.
And you tell these dudes, do y'all own these houses? And do you own this block? And they say, yeah, I own this block. All right, okay, cool. Well, why don't you go buy the house over there? Ain't really no money. And it ain't no money no more. It's just not even worth it at this point. Right. So in reality, the transition period, first and foremost, it starts with them.
Yeah.
It starts with them, understanding that
Yeah. And like lately, like not even lately, my wife, she always tell me, until black men start working together and like stop competing and going to each other and killing each other, it ain't gonna get no better. You know what I mean? And
right.
I'll be like, what you mean? She like, we just like say I'm doing a business with you. I'm either trying to get over on you or you trying to get over on me. We not really working as a team to, as a real team. And I mean, I'll be frustrated because I look at the people in my community, the leaders and stuff, but they kind of leading the young boys, the 20, 21-year-old, they leading them the wrong way. So in reality, I don't have nobody my age that's really trying to do what I'm doing that's strong enough to get the stuff done. Because honestly, in entrepreneurship, the higher you get, the tougher it get, honestly,
Right.
And that's what I be trying to explain to them. Like, man, it take the tough bulldogs in order to make some things happen, because it just is all about who you know sometimes, And
right.
like, you can have the money to buy properties in certain places here in Florida, and you still can't buy it because you're not, inside that circle.
Understandable.
Yeah. Okay, so the junk removal business too. So are you working with dump trailers or just junk removal?
No, I got my own trucks. So I got dump trucks.
Oh, dump trucks, not the trailers.
Right. I got the dump trucks.
Okay. So it seemed like at this point, were you ever like, did you start out driving them, or you always invested as like, I'm gonna buy dump trucks and have other people drive them?
No, I always look at business as a scale up. So I basically bought the dump trucks and then I hired people to buy it. I mean to drive them.
And like, I'm from the country too, and we got dump trucks. And one of the main things, like my uncle, I'm trying to tell him get a second truck, but he say that people don't maintenance on a dump truck is high cost. So how do you deal with, evidently he not gonna treat it like he bought the dump trailer. How do you deal with that factor?
Oh, I mean, maintenance is maintenance, but you also gotta keep it up good because that truck making you money. But again, bro, I say that like it's all about your perception and what you in business doing.
It sounds like a negative perception the way I presented that, ain't it? Like,
yeah, because I'm like, if you thinking that way, I don't want to buy another truck because of maintenance. Then honestly, you don't want to scale. Like, you don't want to scale up. The whole process is, a lot of us is in business today, and we just doing it, just to do it. And it's like, in reality, black people, another thing we have a problem with is scaling up. Right. So it's like, taking risks. So even if we did buy 2 trucks, what's the wrong risk on it? What's the worst that can happen? That truck sits. You got to also remember that truck can get sold right back to the same person, who that actually bought it off. Yeah. 2 trucks on the road means that you got 2 more, you got more jobs that you can handle.
You know what it is? As the lower class and middle class, and I deal with this is my biggest problem. We think you have to work hard in order to make good money. So it's a mindset. I'm not working, I'm not making money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of letting the money, what is called money make money for you.
Right. And that's where it comes with marketing, putting money into certain places and putting things into certain perceptions. Another thing the black entrepreneur kind of, lacks at is, creating systems. You need systems. If you ain't got systems in place, your business is just standstill. And that's something, that's very important in our community that we need to start educating each other on too. Is like, okay, I got this business idea, I got it on paper, I got the LLC, I got it up and running, I'm making money. Okay, so how do you get out of that business though to become a CEO? Right? What's your system like in your business? So it's like, us, we're real estate guys, right? Our system might be, let me implement an assistant in here. So when it's time for me to do a flip, she has my demo, she has my HVAC setup, she has my plumbing, my electrician, and she has my my carpenter set up to come finish things out, right? And that now we in and out in 60 days on each project, right? So then you implement a real estate agent into it to go out and look for your properties as you're at the finish line on that one property that you're about to do a flip on. So that it's a system. So it's literally every single time that you're doing a flip and you selling, you pocket some money, and now you're already on to the next project, and now you already got the next buy, you already got the next flip in place. It's just about us understanding how to create and set up systems, man.
Yeah. What's your
we gotta understand that.
now? And I got a book on that too. Oh man, I want to tell you. I'll put it in the show notes, but it's a book. I can't forget. But it's a book based off a business system. And one of the things I didn't realize that the book taught me, it was like, how often do your team meet? And I thought about it. Or do your team know the vision?
Right.
Like you know the vision. The CEO might know the vision, but the person at the bottom don't know the CEO vision. So he going the wrong way. So now I got my team. We try to do meetings every Sunday night just so they'll know, all right, this week we're trying to get the floor done. This week we're trying to get this house painted. Instead of me just expecting everybody to know what the vision and goal is for the week,
Right. That's something we just implemented into like weekly meetings and monthly meetings. But like I said, we scaling, so it's a lot of systems that's coming in. A lot of systems.
So what's your like why? Like why are you, I know everybody want the money and stuff, but like your overall why for, waking up early and going to sleep late and just working so hard and trying to get it done? What's the reason?
Oh man, I got man, I hate see, and I don't want people to take this perception wrong, but I kind of my why is I'm mad at the world. Like I believe that I was a black kid that went to college. I got in trouble. I shouldn't have been in trouble. I should be in the damn NBA.
Go ahead.
It ain't breaking up, is it?
No. It was just you couldn't see.
Yeah. So like my why is like I said, man, it's more of me, just kind of being angry at the world and kind of trying to take back everything that I feel like the world has taken from me. And like I said, even when it came to education and locking me in jail for just stupid stuff, I'm like, man, like I don't think I was necessarily ever supposed to be in jail, but I would think that that was part of my path, that was my blessing. But in reality, now I look back on it, me being in jail, I done touched and changed so many people's lives because I gave so many people inspiration and motivation. But the reality of it is, yeah, I keep going hard because I want people to know that, yeah, we felons. Yeah, we come from, a background. Yeah, we've been in jail and we've been in the college classroom, but that don't make us no different than you when it come to us being successful. Success ain't got no picture to it. Success ain't got no look to it. You get what I'm saying? So when it come down to, me getting up and me working them long nights, I always look at it and go, I got to be able to look like sitting at Bill Gates, presence and sit in that space and be able to speak to other young black men that have been in jail, because 90% of our population is always in jail.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, maybe, I got a bigger calling, but my reality is, like I said, I'm angry at the world. Like I believe they owe us something. I believe they owe us they owe us. And when I say they owe us, I'm on the fact that like the government, the way that they treated us for the last 400 years, they owe us. Like they owe us, and I'm here to take that shit.
Dang, that's deep. That ain't a lot of deep. Because the thing about it, like I think was it Reverend Jackson said it, they won't get that feet off our neck. And it's kind of like every time you trying to come up, it's weird. I have a different podcast guests, and some of the stories I hear, like how they walked in the bank and they just gave them the money, and for some reason it seemed like on the other end of the stick, a black person can't just walk in the bank and they just help you. Like maybe you didn't do something right, but they don't give you the advice on how to get the loan. But on the
Right.
other end, they'll be like, well, you maybe can't do it this way, but let's do it this way. And I'm like, dang, like nobody at the bank, if they tell me I can't do it this way, they never give me a second option or advice. It's always like, oh, that's the end.
Right. Right.
But
It's
I mean,
more of,
no, I was gonna say,
it's more of us.
no, I was gonna say I don't think you should. Like, I understand how you say you're mad at the world, but like even how like my cousin, shared your profile to me, it inspired him because he was like, man, like he think about starting a cleaning business, right? All the time, but he haven't started it. And you started a successful cleaning business. It's like, yeah, I mean, you mad at the world, but I think on the positive side, it's so much up. You know what I mean? It's so much more
Right.
up to this situation than yeah, they owe us, but like you're affecting people that you don't even know them, but they looking at you,
Right.
They watching you. So I think you gotta do the positive side, like, all right, this is how you start a business. This is what I had to do, and just
Right.
like
Right. Right.
show them, like, because even just with taxes and insurance, it's so much around business outside of just the physical money.
Right. 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 And like I said, I get that reality of it. Like I always tell people, I said, listen, my why is kind of, different than an average, human. But I always say, I feel like, and it's not more of a negative thing. It's more of a, y'all kind of owe us, like, and not only am I going to show my people how to, get to this space or get to these spaces or go into the bank and get 150,000 in cash without them, asking, or without, without them, not being educated enough to know you got to fill out these things, you got to have these things always right. I feel like it's just us, me, I'm in a position, a great position to lead. And that's what I'm trying to do. You get what I'm saying? Because I know 90% of our population is in jail, man. I got so many people that's telling me they'll be upstate in jail. And they like, yo, man, when I get home, bro, I got to come link with you. I got to come figure it out. And I'm like, man, listen, you kind of owe yourself a little bit more at this thing, because they already unlocked you away for something that you probably didn't do anyway. So, that anger that you tunnel on into, the system, and, being upset, tunnel that into, being, getting successful, you know, taking your time out, strategically planning this out, because now I always said it, success not no different than a robbery. It's no different than you going to the bank and robbing somebody.
Oh man,
I
you
always
just
say that it's no different than a robbery.
dang, that was,
Like, it's no different. Like, it's strategically, like when you rob a bank, you strategically cross your T's and dot your I's, right? And your end goal is money.
high risk,
Your
high
end
reward.
goal, you don't care how you get it, you don't care how you do it, is money. Success in you going out there and starting that business, the only thing that's different from it is it's not no guaranteed money in front of you.
Right.
That's the only thing different, But in reality, you're not doing nothing but really sitting yourself down and strategically crossing your T's and dotting your I's, and I promise you'll be able to do something. It's no different, man. I always tell people that, man. It's no different. The only difference is on a robbery, it's gonna be money in there. As you go into this goal, it's a maybe that it might happen, but if you strategically plan it, you'll be able to get to what you trying to do.
Who is your biggest like right hand, like your biggest supporter in far as your entrepreneur stuff? Who is your biggest like like somebody who push you to keep scaling? Do you have anybody like that around you, or is just?
Oh, I mean, my team, my friends, my team. Teach one, feed one. My guy Darnell. That's like my right hand man right now. His story is crazy, man. He was a full blown addict. Full blown addict. 3 years later, started a non for profit that's seen over $250,000 in donations. He now has he owns 2 properties. He runs his non for profit is basically on the BBB website, the Better Business Bureau,
Right.
credit rating an A, based out in Philadelphia, PA. He also that's my partner in the junk remove business. he owns multiple businesses right now. I think he owns 4 businesses, and they all seen over 6 figures in the first year.
Wow.
Like, the dude is a beast, but it's like, you tunnel your pain and you tunnel the things you've been going through into your success. That's what I always try to teach black men. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be mad. Tunnel that stuff into something different. This is an addict who was used to being addicted to something, to a drug, Percocets, real addicted. He took that same addiction and tunneled that addiction into success. So it's like, you got to tunnel what you're going through into where you're trying to go.
Right. Dang.
That's why I said it's no different than robbing a bank. It's no different.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say, is it anybody like say, all right, somebody who passed away maybe when you was before you was born or at an early age that you wish you could like spend more time with them because they was just like you heard so much great information about them? I know that's like off.
Huh?
Did you hear the question?
Yeah, you said what? I'm sorry.
Somebody, what's like a person who passed away before you was born, or maybe when you was at an early age where you didn't get to spend that much time with them, but you hear like great things about them. Like, is there anybody in your life like that before?
Oh no, not in my life. Like, we don't really have a lot of, God, the grace of God. We don't really have a lot of, deaths like that.
Right. Okay. I ask that question because like 2020, a lot of people passed away, and it's like I asked my wife, like, if you could bring like maybe one of them celebrities back, because so many people passed because they made a big impact to the world, So I'm like,
right,
we lost great people. So, but like my granddad, I never met him. He died like a few days before I was born. But now I'm 31 years old, and people in the community, they telling me like, oh, some of the what you would call it, the personality and attributes of him, they like, man, you the same way, but I never even met this person, So
right,
it's kind of
right.
that's why I was like, man, I wish I would have spent real lifetime with him. Okay, all right. So this is like the last 5 questions of New American Dream is right off the top of the dome. A book that changed your life.
Get Rich. Rich Dad or Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yeah, that's like the #1 classic book. All right.
That's I only read one book. That was the only book I ever read.
That's the only book you ever. Oh man, that's a first too.
Ever read in my life.
Dang. And what was your biggest takeaway from that book?
Shit, understanding money and understanding you can't trade time for money. And once I figured that out, I ain't never started business and working it in my life. Every business I started, worked outside of the business.
Okay. Dang. All right, something you wish you knew at the age of 25.
That it was this easy to really make money.
All right, that's kind of out. All right, wait. When you said it's that easy, we're in the middle of a pandemic right now. People are like, struggling. How could you say is that easy? Like what'd you figure out? Like, you know what I mean?
I figured out the model. I understand. I shouldn't say it. I should say. I wish I would understood that vendors, kind of grow your cleaning company to a whole nother level. So it's just understand the systems. I wish I would have understood the system at 25 because I was just out there hanging door to door. Not like I did have a system in it, but if I'd have had vendors at the age of 25, boy.
So you mean like reaching vendors, like you're not under a different like cleaning company. You talking about like going out and get your own contract with hospitals or with this post office or whatever like that, right?
No, I'm talking about, so there's people that will literally give you all those contracts at like King of Pressure malls, like Walmart's, like $1 million contracts, and they're free.
Oh, okay.
They're literally free.
But you have to pay them a percentage, right?
No, they're free.
Dang. So they give you a whole contract and say you can take on this contract, make $100,000 this year, and you don't owe us nothing.
So they're city contracts. They're free. So that means it's money that ran through the city. That's grants that got to be spent on that specific thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Dang.
And I didn't know they were free. Like,
dang. Yeah, because I think my cousin, he do it like, I guess bigger cleaning companies, they were like, you got your cleaning materials, but then they'll contract you out. But I guess you owe them maybe about a year or percentage,
Yeah. You kind of skip that whole phase.
Okay. All right. What are your hobbies outside of you? Oh no, I want to ask you this. What make an elite entrepreneur? Your Instagram is elite entrepreneur. What like I'm an elite entrepreneur. What's an elite entrepreneur?
I mean, I I call it elite because we kind of start from a different background or a rough background, but then we kind of got to where we got to by selling something that everybody's kind of people look at it and kind of turn an eye to it. You know, I always say it's millions in trash, and I say that with a smile on my face all the time. People be like, "I'm not cleaning," or "It's no way you made this," or "It's no way you did this," and I'm like, "Okay." And then you pull up, and these exotic cars, and these jewelries, and these houses, and you got all this real estate, and they're like, "What are you fucking doing?" And I'm like, I clean toilets."
Yeah.
So you kind of think, you know,
It's
I
it's
I do.
it sound like you're not doing much, but you're cleaning a lot of the toilets, and you're the owner
Yeah,
of the cleaning toilets.
and that's what it is. So like when people say it's no way you're cleaning toilets and it's doing that to you, and I'm like, see, it's not about you know, it's not about the person. It's more about it's the product. Sometimes the mindset is way. Excuse me, I said that wrong. The mindset is way more important than the product, and people don't understand that. I always said that. When I look at cleaning, I don't look at cleaning as just cleaning toilet. I look at cleaning as low risk. What's your ROI? What's your risk on your investment? Let's say in real estate, one thing go wrong, we down 20,000 like that.
Mhm.
In cleaning, you kind of don't got no risk on your investment. What's the worst that can happen? And then is it low overhead cost to start up? Yeah. And then you look at the labor. Labor is the most cheapest, the cheapest industry in the world when it comes to cleaning. You could pay somebody $10 an hour. So imagine you paying somebody $10 an hour, and your average account pays you $90 an hour.
Right.
You talking making 80% profit on each of your dollars.
And now you got me thinking because and that's one of the things I too do. I think as an entrepreneur, we think like right now you probably got like 20, 30 business ideas, even though you got your legit ones. Like right then you was talking, and you know what business I came up with in my head? Airbnb cleaning business, because I got an Airbnb, and the lady, they clean my Airbnb, but they don't get it ready for the next guest. So they'll clean it, but new sheets and new stuff, new coffee. I end up doing that because I didn't get the system all the way, to the full scratch. But I think that'll be an awesome business because we have so many Airbnbs in Florida, and I know how this Airbnb works. So if you can clean it and get it ready for the next guest, that's like a double catch.
How much you paying that lady to clean your Airbnb?
My one Airbnb is a studio apartment, and they charge me $50 every time they clean it, and it's probably like maybe 300 square feet. It's just studio apartment, got a kitchen, bedroom, and it's $50 every time they clean it.
Yeah, so yeah, it's money in that. It's
Yeah.
money in it. I know a dude who does that. He does strictly that, but he does a turnover. So he make the bed and all that sheet and the sheets and stuff too. So his average joint might be $350 to $400.
Right.
But
Yeah,
it
that
only
was
take
it.
that person 2 hours.
See, I wouldn't pay
So
no $300 to clean. Maybe if they got if I had a whole house, people charge like that Airbnb. So it depends on the size, but
yeah,
that's a business right there itself because it's low startup. All you need to clean the product, and it's Airbnbs everywhere. So if you can tell them not only
yep.
you can clean it and get it prepared for the next guest, oh man, I would hire you because saving me some time.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right,
Low
your
overhead.
yeah, your version, all right, the older version American Dream. I was a mailman, so I was a mailman for like 5 years, and the old people, I put the mail in the box. They were like, "Young man, you got a good job. You set for life." And I'm like, "Damn, I don't really want to do this job for 30 years, right?" So that was the American Dream.
Mm-hmm.
I would have stayed at the post office and retired maybe around 62 years old, and then I would start traveling. That's like the old American Dream. What's your version of the new American Dream for 2021? Like, what do you see the best life for American Dream now?
Shoot, man. Everybody an entrepreneur nowadays. Just being financially free. Like I believe, I believe that jobs and with COVID and all that stuff, I believe all that stuff is going to die out. They gonna try to get rid of people. And I believe at this state, if you don't got your business up and running and it's not taking care of you at this point, and you kind of in trouble. So I believe that the new American dream is get something that and create something or create a model or system that can take care of you, because us taking care of each other, I mean the system, the government giving us more jobs and stuff like that, eventually will be replaced with like robots and stuff like that, I believe.
Most definitely. And that's exactly what happened during this pandemic. A lot of jobs got cut. And honestly, entrepreneurs, you had the opportunity to work harder, make more money, I believe.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
So I believe that, man. I believe that people better, wake up.
Yeah. So, all right, if people want to reach out, find out more about you, how can they get in touch with you?
Just follow me on IG at The Elite Entrepreneur. My Twitter is the same thing, The Elite Entrepreneur. And just leave a comment. Like a picture. We gonna definitely start putting some more content out, man. A lot of stuff been busy right now lately, but as soon as we get to that phase, we can start putting some more content out. We're gonna definitely start doing that, and then reach out, talk to me. I'm always willing to help, man.
Hey, willing to help. You need to start a YouTube, man. You got the cleaning business, the dump truck. You need to put a camera on that stuff, man. YouTube is like documenting the process at all,
Yeah, I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna definitely start getting into it. Right now, like I said, I'm just getting all this stuff up and running these systems. So then once they on automatic, it'll be easier for me to, start freeing up some time and getting that stuff rolling.
Hey, do you watch On Me and the Hellcat? Well, you in Philly, right?
I see him.
What you mean? You sit on YouTube or in person?
I not see him on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when he was a big, he was like one of the first people I see on YouTube that's was really doing it like entrepreneur thing, and I like how he do it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, my thing, I love original, man. As long as you're original,
right?
I don't want you don't gotta be suit and tie and all extra for me. Just be original, man. And that'll get you far from there. You feel me?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is, though.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming on. Hey, people reach out and keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you so much, man. See you, man.
All right. Let me